Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Chen Fang-Ju, a Chinese educational therapist with the Dyslexia Association of Singapore. In my daily job, I support primary school students with the dyslexic through providing Chinese intervention. So today I'm privileged to sharing our research finding. I hope you will find the presentation useful in your work with the student with the dyslexia. Sorry. Okay. For the background, as you know, dyslexia is a language learning difficulty, but it does not just affect reading and spelling. Students with the dyslexia also face difficulty in higher order literary texts, such as the reading comprehension and composition writing. The earlier study and annual program evaluation done at the DAS show the Chinese intervention effective in supporting students with the dyslexia in their character reading, word forming, and spell ability. However, there was also the feedback from the parents. They were not seeing the progress in their children's reading comprehension and reading comprehension and composition writing ability. So based on the simple view of the reading, in order to achieve the skill reading, one need to be able to read the word accurately and fluently, and also to comprehension the meaning of the text being reading. However, the ability recognize word doesn't equal to reading comprehension ability. In addition, in a research we done with our students, all of them, they will cite reading comprehension and composition writing is the most two difficult tests in their Chinese exemption in the school. But unfortunately, the school exemption need to do these two parts. So this is considered with their score obtained for these two tests. So for here, because we do in Chinese, so here I explain this part. Like a 人, for the Chinese character is both a syllable and a morpheme. Well, the child may be able to recognize the individual character like this one, 人 means person. When reading, they may not able to comprehend the meaning of the word. For example, here, if the children know this character, 人 mean in the English meaning means person or people, and 大 means big, and 小 means small. But when we combine together, 大人 is not literally mean a big person, but the meaning is adult. And 小人 is not mean kids or small person. It's commonly used refer to the villain. So for the Chinese learner in Singapore, is more difficult for them because they are not only need to know the character, the meaning, and also need to know the phrase. It's not like English or other language, you just combine together. With the aim of the providing intervention for the student with the dyslexia in the area of the reading comprehension, we create a reading comprehension pack. And the texts are adapted from the primary school Chinese textbooks. And we also, the sixth type of the question is proposed in Bloom's taxonomy, were used as a framework to create the question. The six types of the question are namely knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. The exam paper from the few local schools were analyzed to see which question type were used at the school level. And this length from the basic of the type of the question that appear according to the level of ability of the student. And in instruction, the student, we have adopted the PPP model, which means present the concept, allow the student to practice and then produce the concept independently. Later, I will more detail to explain this part. So our research question 1 is the PPP model effective in helping dyslexic students to improve their reading comprehension ability? And the second question is, this question is in reading comprehension pack effective designed to support the development of the reading comprehension skill? So there are totally 19 students that participate in this study. They are all from the join the DAS Chinese program, ranging from primary 3 to 5. The primary 4 group, they have 2 different ability, which we will refer to the intermediate 1 and intermediate 2. And for the research design here, I explain we use 4 passages for each level. And passage 1 and passage 4 are used for the pre and post tests. So first, passage 1 used as a part of the curriculum at the presentation stage. We want to see if the student could retain the skill that we taught and if they were able to apply this skill again at a later stage. We also like to know, we also like to expect the improve in performance to be better in passage 1 than passage 4 because of the practice of power of the curriculum. And passage 2 and used as a practice stage, and passage 3 is used as a produce stage. Result from the passage 4, we want to see the application of the skill learned during the intervention. And here is our research design. In the beginning, we use the passage 1 as the pre-test. And after 6 weeks, no invention means we did not teach any reading comprehension skill in this time. We use passage 4 as a pre-test tool. So we do the pre-test first, use the passage 1 and 4. And after we start the intervention, start the 4 weeks after the pre-test 2. The teacher will be teach passage 1, 2, 3, or 1 hour a week, and in 5 to 6 weeks. Passage 1 we use as a present model stage, means the teacher will present how to answer the questions. And passage 2 as a practice stage. We let the student try to answer on their own. If they cannot, then we can assist the student. And in the end, the teacher will demonstrate how to answer give the student feedback. And passage 3, as a produce stage, we let the student apply the skill on their own and produce the answer independently. And in the end, the teacher will also demonstrate how to answer the question and give the student feedback. After the intervention, and after 1 week, we use the passage 1 as a post-test. And another week, we use the passage 4 as the post-test 2. So total time is around 17 and 18 weeks. We also expect the student to perform better in the passage 1 than passage 4 because of the practice that they had during an intervention stage. And result from the post-test we would expect were better than the pre-test after the intervention. there are total 6 types of the question, but But for the group, our student, we only have the first four type of the question we use. And this sample of the question type we use here, I show you is the P4 Intermediate 2. And I will give you a moment to look at before I proceed. So here you can see there is the four type of the question. There are knowledge, comprehension, application, and analysis. It's from our reading comprehension pack question from there. So this is the breakdown of the score of the allocation of each question type in both pre- and post-test passage. The target reading comprehension skill for the primary 3 and primary 4 intermediate 1 was application skills. And for the primary 4 intermediate 2 and primary 5 was analysis skills, as shown in the allocation in purple here. So not every passage could be covered by all the question type because there are also have a limit time when we teach in the limit time, and hence the skill that will not focus will be omitted. So for our overall result, average is improving, especially the passage 1, like we expect. But there are the teachers' intervention, except the primary 4 intervention 2. Here you can see here a little bit decline. But in the pre-test, it gained around 18.3 for the first passage, but there are dropped 10% for the passage 4 on the average for the student of primary 4 intermediate 2. The reason for the drop in the score could be gain of the passage 4 could be understandable be lower than the passage 1. The student would directly learn from the passage from what the teacher thought, but maybe they need more time to transfer the technology they learn from the other passage. So in the P4 intermediate 2, passage 4 a little bit drop. And in this part, you can see is the part highlight in green indicate the improve in average score, and the part highlight in red indicate in decline. A gain of the 0% show that the score will maintain on average. Due to the constraint of the time as well the content of the passage, certain question type will not test. We can infer that there will be improved in skills. For the most type, except for the beginning P3 passage 4 comprehension skills, P4 intermediate 2 passage 4 and application and analysis skills. A possible explain could be the passage 4 could be more difficult for the student. It's also known that the application and analysis skill will higher order thinking skills and would require more time for the student to develop. So back to the research question. For the question 1, based on the overall result, the students show gain in the post-test except for the primary 4 students who at the intermediate 1 level a little bit drop. And for the question 2, in the reading comprehension pack effect with regarding to the developed reading comprehension skill is improved and has been overall absorbed for all the question type except the primary 3 passage 4 comprehension and primary 4 intermediate to passage 4. So which we show a little slight decline, but overall is improved. So after the completion of the study, there are several limits discovered. The first, in design the difficulty of the passage and the question type, we have to design them to meet the student ability level more precisely. Moreover, we have to investigate their background knowledge in order to produce more teaching materials. And secondly, due to the long period of the time required to carry out the reading comprehension instruction, the student meet with the practice fatigue, and hence this affect the result obtained. Thirdly, the student need a longer time to proceed the skill learned. With the regard of this limitation for the future relevant study, we suggest first, a better control the question type and passage difficulty. And second, a longer period of time to carry out the research in order to make the reading comprehension pack to more efficient teaching instruction. And this is the research of the DS Chinese team. So thank you for your attention.